Hello and welcome to another one of my Trinity teachings. This is lesson 10, energy raising / play. Energy play I should say, but either way. If you're familiar with the book, look at A Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. Scott Cunningham is the author. I looked down because I actually have a copy of the book over there. Anyway, I'm trying to remember the author. Anyway, back to where I was. He writes about energy raising, and I'm borrowing some of what I'm going to say from him. Also from several other sources, but mainly from him. And energy raising is basically where you raise energy. You feel the energy around you and all that. It's usually done, it's actually done different times. I knew of a coven, they did at the beginning of every one, because what they would do is they would cast a circle and have an energy raising. And all that during all their different meetings. Even if they weren't doing spells, they would do that. I think it's just to enhance the area, to get the juices flowing, I guess you could say. So it is actually a good thing to do. Also, right before you do a spell, it's also good to help just raise the energy, as it says in its name. It can be done in many different ways. Usually done by movement. I'm going to talk about energy play. It's actually, in a way, the same general thing. I might add, then again, I've done this since I was little without actually realizing what I was doing. And some people will probably find themselves doing this too. It's mainly visualization. If you've ever sat and visualized creating like an energy ball in your hand, or releasing energy from your hand, or anything of that nature. It's basically, that's what it is. In his book, he wrote to ways to play with this or practice it is, basically sit and focus. Don't force yourself to do it, but in one way he talked about rubbing your hands together until you feel energy basically flowing to your hands. He talks about creating it like a ball of energy in your hands to play with. You can manipulate it as you see fit, change its shape. Also, what he talks about is charging your house. Basically, the same manner he was talking about, raising energy with motions of hand movement. Just feel the energy as you move your hands and move the energy around. Move it throughout your house and create, as he calls it, a psychic burglar alarm. Basically, filling your house full of energy. Your house is your safe haven. In a way, it's your circle. It's your home. Even if you feel like your home's been invaded, even if you're not Wiccan and you're just somebody who got their house broken into, it feels major invasion because the energy of the house is just living in the house puts the energy in there. This way is just more of a way of charging your house. It talks about visualizing you casting out the energy, it absorbing into the cracks of the house, the objects in your house. You just see it. It's a very interesting manner, and I've actually, without realizing it, I've done this ever since I was little. When you're little, and you might see little kids do this, it's basically visualization, or as they call it, imagination. You can see throwing energy balls at your friends, or making imaginary weapons, swinging them around. It's actually a way of focusing energy. Believe it or not, it may seem like a child form of play, but actually it is. And I've actually done it so every time I'm alone, I'll catch myself doing it. I'll also catch myself talking to myself, but then again, there's many different reasons for that. Anywho, back to what I was saying. The energy play. You can do it when you're bored. It's also, I believe, it under the category of meditation, in a manner of speaking. The psychic preparation, I guess you could say. In energy raisings, you can do it that way with the focusing of energy balls, or imagining like a psychic bubble around you. A part of energy raising I do know of is when you have several people, you cast a circle and you basically visualize around you. You can literally see the circle. You see like a dome around you. Because a circle is not just a two-dimensional thing. It's more of a three-dimensional. You basically have like a dome above you, as well as it goes around in the ground. Basically, you're in the center of a giant sphere. And when you create a circle. is basically how it is set. In a lot of cases, you just see the dome part, but that's because it's above ground. Anyway, but you visualize it, you see it, you charge it with your energy. It's basically throwing your energy to see it. Let's see, how else do I explain this? You can feeling the energy throughout your body, or flowing throughout your body, is a... See, for some it's easy, for some it's difficult. You have to be loose. A common tool, exercise of which doing this I've actually read about, is basically tense your body up to a complete, as tense as you possibly can. Tense everything, tighten every muscle you can, and basically slowly release it, like you're an ice block melting, is a good way of putting it. And actually, back out of that exercise also, I read it back in school, is what we used to do that, as a way to... Actually, I don't remember what the purpose of that was, to do in school, honestly. But, it's just a good way to feel the energy flow through you. Doing this with other people, actually, when I taught my friends, Eric and Josh, my cousin and, well, my friend and my cousin, to do this, one way I would teach them is actually learn how to focus energy and have it flow through you to somebody else back around again. Like holding hands, or as I had them do, sit in front of one another and hold each other's hands. So the point is to feel the energy to go out of your right hand into their left hand, and out of their right hand into your left hand, basically creating a circle. I know this is probably not an accurate representation, but if for those who've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, when they talk about bending lightning, they talk about this in a manner of speaking. Feeling the energy come in one hand, through your arm, in their case, through the stomach, or just through your chest in general, and then out the other arm. Is basically one way of seeing it. You have to imagine and visualize and feel the flow of the energy. It's actually a quite interesting process. When you feel it, you can actually feel pretty good, actually, because it's used a lot in healing, actually. Certain healing methods use this. Right off the top of my head, I cannot remember which healing methods there are. Let's see, I know there's energy healing, which is part of it, where you place some of their harmed energy with your energy, but that's a different lesson. Anyway, back to what I was speaking of. But energy healing, energy raising, and energy play. I suggest energy play. I mean, granted, you might want to do it by yourself because if someone sees you and they don't know about this, you may kind of look like a fool. I admit, I've been doing this for years. Before I even knew what I was doing it. And I would have, like, my parents would walk in on me, and I'm sitting there swinging an imaginary sword at things. Granted, luckily I was young enough to get away with the fact that I was pretending, but when you're about 18, 20, people walking on you doing that, you're going to feel silly. But I admit, it's also a fun way to release energy. If you feel hyper, extremely fucking hyper, like, believe me, I feel that way a lot, it's actually a good way to release energy, put off energy. It exhausts you, actually, quite a bit. It's kind of like pretending for someone older, but that's only if you pretend you're attacking imaginary people, like I do sometimes, but it's just to have a target. I usually can imagine, one way I do it is energy balls. I focus energy in energy balls, and I will toss it in multiple things throughout the house. Sometimes I'll just imagine it soaking into the object, sometimes I imagine the object blowing up. It's also a way of blowing off steam in my head. I wouldn't suggest just doing it at people, just random people. It's not a good idea, because you never know what your actions could cause. As I speak of in Accidental Magic Lesson, you never know what you can do. Pointing at people, saying things out loud, or saying things in rhyme equals a bad time. Oh, that was a bad rhyme. Anyway, and back to what I was saying, it's always good to just do it with objects. Granted, you could probably break objects without realizing it if you focus enough energy at it. So I would suggest something that might not actually blow up. Or, I mean, be affected by your energy. I mean, like stone, statues. Statue garden, I know of. a long time ago, I used to go there, and I would actually do this. I would throw the energy at these statues. They absorb it, no stone. They're basically grounded. So basically, it just goes into the ground. It's like a ground for electricity. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's one of my longer videos. It goes actually pretty in depth. I suggest you read more about it. Basically, look up raising energy or energy raising or energy play. It's actually a pretty common subject and term. Most books have something usually about energy raising. Scott Cunningham's, I said, his book, Wicca, Guide for Solitary Practitioners, speaks about it. I'm not sure what other books of his talk about because those times where is brain fart right now, so I can't necessarily name them off the bat. But several of his books talk about, and several books actually, a lot of Wiccan books talk about energy raising. Energy play is where I got that name from him, and it actually named what I was doing, so I didn't feel as weird as I thought I was. But anyway, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you watch some of my other Trinity teachings, some ones I made before this and some after. Leave questions, comments, all that. If you do, thank you very much, and until next time, keep learning. Bye-bye.